Well, the legislature finishes up with the first half of the session, and any bills that don't have a budget impact must be adopted in the House they originated in, either the House or Senate, or die this week, and the legislature will move back into committee hearings. So I'm Todd Myers, Vice President for Research at the Washington Policy Center with the legislative update for the week of March 9th, 2025. So the House worked over the weekend, and here are a few of the bills they adopted on Friday and Saturday. In good news, the legislature adopted HB 1023, which joins Washington to a national cosmetology compact. Now, this allows people from other states that are part of the compact and have a cosmetology license to get a license in Washington without having to repeat the entire licensing process. This is particularly good for military spouses. Now, it would be better for Washington to simply recognize other states' licenses without the bureaucracy of a compact, but this is a step in the right direction. The legislature also passed HB 1622, which allows state and local government unions to block any use of artificial intelligence that would reduce wages. Now, the bill was narrowed slightly, but still makes it difficult to use AI to streamline government. The House also passed HB 1113, which allows courts to dismiss a misdemeanor or gross misdemeanor. Several amendments were adopted to modify the requirements that judges must consider, including hearing from victims and writing a description of why the judge decided to dismiss the misdemeanor. But the bill still gives wide latitude to judges to dismiss misdemeanors. And the last bill I'll highlight is House Bill 1163, which received a great deal of attention and was debated late into the night. The bill would require a permit to purchase a firearm. Now, all amendments except one were rejected, including one that would have limited the fee to $20 and one that would have removed the section that makes government entities immune from liability for issuing or failing to issue or revoking a permit. Now, another amendment would have allowed someone to collect attorney's fees and costs when they were wrongly denied a permit. That also was voted down. Now, all of these bills that I just mentioned head to the Senate for hearings in the upcoming weeks. There are still some bills of interest that must be addressed by the House or Senate before they adjourn and return to committee hearings later this week. One that I like is House Joint Memorial 4004, which asks the federal government to modify the Marine Mammal Protection Act to reduce predation by seals and sea lions on salmon. A study by the Washington State Academy of Sciences found that seals and sea lions are having a significant impact on salmon populations and recommended reducing their population. That can't be done, however, without changes to the federal law. In another piece of good news, the House will hear HB 1834 regarding online protections for minors. Small Business Director Mark Harmsworth highlighted a part of that legislation which would have warned minors that their parents were monitoring their activity and provided an obvious signal. That part has been removed from the bill and is now being considered by legislators. So this is a significant victory that will help parents keep their children safe online and makes it clear that parents, and not the government, are primarily responsible for their children's safety. The House may also consider HB 1409, a truly bad bill that would intentionally increase gas prices by making the so-called clean fuel standard more restrictive. That bill would also break the promises that the low-carbon fuel standard would create manufacturing and farm jobs that were made just 4 years ago. The bill now admits that was a lie. So this bill offers higher gas prices, but no new jobs. You can read my analysis of the bill at washingtonpolicy.org. In the Senate, we hope they will consider SB 5036, a bill that we support that would require the state to report statewide CO2 emissions every year. Currently, data is reported years late, and the Department of Ecology has failed to comply with existing law, meaning the data are completely useless as a tool for policymaking. This would at least make the data useful so we can know whether our policies are working. Now, once both chambers finish their work on the floor of the House and Senate, they return to committee hearings later this week, and there are just a few things that I wanted to note. First and foremost, and most importantly, is the hearing of the House Agriculture and Natural Resources at 8 a.m. on Wednesday. This is one you will not want to miss, and it features my colleague, WPC's Agriculture Director Pam Lewison, and me in a work session talking about our proposals to improve farms, forests, and salmon recovery. in Washington state. So grab a cup of coffee and watch our presentation on TVW. On Thursday, the House Transportation Committee will hear SB 5595, the Shared Streets Bill, which would allow cities to declare certain areas shared streets where cars, bikes, and pedestrians could all be, and establish a 10-mile-an-hour speed limit. On Thursday, the House State Government and Tribal Relations Committee will hear SB 5000, which officially makes Washington's nickname the Evergreen State. Now, as a reminder, the state's motto is Alki, which basically means whatever, which is how I will feel about the legislature about a month from now. And finally, the Senate State Government and Tribal Affairs and Elections Committee will hear HB 1759, which designates December 12th as the Day of the 12s for all the Seahawks fans out there. So, everyone who supports this legislation, take one step forward. Not so fast, Geno Smith. So that's it for this week's update. Make sure to share this on social media, like our video, and subscribe to the Washington Policy Center's YouTube channel to keep up to date on the activity in the legislature. Roger and I thank you for watching, and have a great week.